Hello and welcome back. In this video I'll be showing you how I make my different hairstyles. So here are the 3 different ones. And for this unicorn, I'm going to demonstrate how I make these. But I will show you how I make these. So what you'll need are your crochet hook, your tapestry needle, some scissors, and pins. Now for this one, you won't need the pins or the tapestry needle. That's just a heads up. So I'm going to start with showing you this one. So I haven't done the tail yet. So you want to grab whatever yarn you have. And what I do is I measure to see how long I want it. So I like about that length. So then I'm going to double it and then just add a little more length for the knot. So I like that length about, and I'm just going to cut it, and then all you want to do is just pull it apart. So for this specific type of yarn, it only has three strands twisted together. So I just have to take out 3, and then you want to line it up so they're equal, straighten them out, and then double it again. And then you want to grab your crochet hook and put it wherever you go into the stitches, wherever you want your tail to sit. So I went into here, and then you want to like hook and latch it. So if you have a hook and latch that's small enough, you could use that. Oops. But a standard crochet hook works fine. So I have that. I'm going to loop this over and pull these loops over these tail strands. I'm going to pull it through and tighten. And that's how I make this hair. That's how I made these feathers. And that's how I made this. Very simple. This is probably the easiest one. It's just the most time consuming. So that's that one. And now I'll show you the next one. Real quick before I show you the next one, if you're wondering where I attached the strands, you can kind of look here and gauge where I put each stitch, or where I put each strand. So that's that. Now I'll show you the next one. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make this. So, what you want to do is grab your string, or your yarn, and decide how long you want it first. So, say you want something this long. So, for demonstration purposes, I am going to use this strand. So I'm going to measure how long I want it, and then add a little bit of string or yarn and make a slip knot. So you have that. Now, to make this itself, you want to chain 2. 1, 2, and please focus on me, thank you. You want to single crochet in the first stitch, then you want to chain 1, turn, single crochet, chain 1, turn, single crochet 1, chain 1, turn, single crochet 1, chain, turn. Okay, you get the idea. So now when you're finished, you're going to chain and then take out your hook and then tighten. So now you have this piece. Pretend it's longer. This is just a test piece. So now you have this strand at the bottom. You want to take your tapestry needle, feed it through, and then you want to sew it in like we did with the ears in the last part. So just feed it through like that. And then you want to do that all the way up your whole strand. So now I'm at the top. I'm going to do this. So now I'm at the top. And now you want to pin it on. Just pretend this is longer. Pin it on and then sew it in. Just like what I'm going to do with the unicorn I'm showing you guys with. And that's how you make it. If you don't do this step, this will happen. It will start to come undone. Sorry, trying to make it focus. It will come undone like this. And all these ends will come out and it'll fall apart. So that's if you don't do that sewing in step. So that's that. And now I'll show you how to make the curly hair. Okay, so I thought I already filmed this part, but apparently I wasn't recording. So this is what I did before I realized I wasn't recording. So now I'm just going to explain that all over again. But anyway, what you want to do is leave a long enough tail that you could sew into the head. Not that long, just about here. And you want to put your hook in and single crochet. Now, you want to make this chain as long as you want the curl. Now, because it curls, it looks shorter than it actually is. So, that's how long it actually is. But if you let go, it's just going to curl back. And that's how long it is with the curls. So keep that in mind when you make this. It's not hard, so you just take it apart and continue chaining. But that's just the thought to have in mind. So you want to you want to chain however long you want that. So I keep my unicorn pretty close so I can just keep measuring as I'm going. So where you want it, the mane to go, you want it to lay in the middle of the neck. Unless you're doing a different hairstyle. But for this one, you want to keep it down the middle of the neck. So keep that in mind when you're measuring. Put your hook at the middle of the neck and then see where it lands. So I'm going to chain 2 more. And then I'm going to just crochet back along this. That's all you want to do. No fancy stitches, no fancy increases. Unless you want to increase, then it would, I think it would tighten the curl. Or would that loosen the curl? I think decreasing would tighten the curl. So I think increasing would make it bigger, maybe? I'm not sure, I haven't tried. So all you want to do is just single crochet back along this chain. Okay, I finished my curl. And I'm going to measure again just to see how it looks. So that's where it lays, and I like that. So then I'm going to just cut just enough where you could stick it into the body. And then you want to pull this tight so it doesn't come undone. And then you want to pin it onto the head where you like it. Now, when you're making like the bangs, I guess you could call it. I don't know what these are called. But you want to make the tail end of one of them really long, so you could sew in the rest of it with that one tail. Because if you do it with individual strands, it will fall out. Unless you're really careful with it. So here are the hairs I made for the head portion. If you want to copy that. So that's that. And then that's all you want to do, just all the way down. So I'll make a few more with you, and then I'll cut and finish the rest of mine. So enough where you can tie it into the head, slip knot, and chain. Now, you could count these and then increase one or two chains if you want. I just gauge it by how it looks. I don't really count. Probably should count, but I don't. So I like that, and now I'm just going to single crochet all the way back down. Okay, so I'm back at the end. I'm going to chain one, measure again, so I like that. Now you could space them out more if you want. I just like them tight together. So I like that. And I'm gonna cut off decently long strand. That was probably way too much, but that's okay. And then I'm going to pin it on. Okay, now I'm gonna leave a tail, slip knot, and chain. And then when you like your length, single crochet back. And now I'm going to chain one, see how that looks. I like that, so then I'm going to cut the tail and pull, then I'm going to pin it on. And that's all you want to do all the way down your neck. And I'll be right back to when I've finished my curls. Okay, I changed my mind with how I wanted my mane, so I made them really long all the way down. And what I made up here with you guys, I just transferred to the tail. So I'm gonna fix it real quick. It's not even, but I'll fix it when I sew it on. So now I'm gonna make the rest of the tail. I'm not gonna do the whole tail with you because it's very time consuming, but I can do a few strands with you. So I'm gonna set it like that. But I'm going to take these off because I like doing the long parts first and then adding the layers as I go. So just like before, I'm going to leave a long tail. Well, it's not really long, but a decent sized tail. I'm going to go in, the slip knot, and then I'm going to chain. Again, I'm not going to count just because I don't count, I just see what looks good. There. So I like that length. And then I'm just gonna single crochet one for my turning chain. And then I'm going to single crochet my way back. Okay, I'm back to the end, and I'm going to chain one, see how it fits. Now, with the tail, you want to start at this. This is the ring that we started on, and then this is where we increased in every round. So I like to start the tail just above that center ring. So that looks good to me, and I'm going to, just in case I don't have enough when using with this, ignore that noise. Just in case you don't have enough tail with this, I like to cut off a long strand with this. So now I'm just gonna pin it in place. And then I'm gonna do that same length 2 more times. So I'll be back when I finish that part. Okay, I finished my first layer of my tail. And now I'm gonna do my second layer. I'm probably gonna do 2 more, and this will count as my 4th. So continuing with our second layer, I guess you could call it. 3rd layer, whatever. I'm gonna make a tail, and then I'm gonna stick my hook in the slip knot, and I'm gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So I like the look of that. And then I'm just going to turn it around and single crochet across. Now you just want to keep doing that over and over again. Not making as many chains as you go up unless you want it all the same length, but I'm going to do layers. But you can do whatever you want with this. I'm just saying what you can do and what I'm going to do. So I'll be back when I have all my tail finished, and then I'll show you how to sew on these. Okay, I'm back with my tail finished. So I decided to do 3 layers, a really long layer, a medium layer, and that layer that I moved from up here to down here. So now you should finish making all your parts, and then now we're going to sew everything on. Yes, this is a lot of loose ends, and you're gonna have to tie in every single one of these, because if you cut it, it will fall apart. So I'm gonna take the really long strand you cut from the hair, the top, and I'm gonna thread it on my tapestry needle. And now I like to start from the top and work my way down. So I'm gonna find out where this strand comes from. So it comes from this blue pinned one. Sorry if you can't see, it's a little awkward to hold. So the string comes from this blue one, and all you want to do is just go into the stitches, go into the head, and then come out someplace nearby. And try not to get this strand caught around any of the stitches or the pins poking out the bottom. It's a little difficult because they're everywhere though. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna pull these out to make this easier. Take this one out. So now I have this. So I came out through right here, and then I'm going to go back into the same place and come out in a different spot on the head so I could sew in the other side of that. I like to go in and out twice for each strand of hair. You can stick that aside. So now that one's sewn on. So then afterwards, I'm going to go to this yellow one. So I'm going to go in through the top, through this side, and I'm going to go into the head and come out as close as possible to this strand still. It's going to look like that. I'm going to take out this pin, and then because it's so close, I'm just going to go through this side. Make sure everything lines up how you want to. Now I'm going to go in through this side, and I'm going to come out over here on this side of the head. Not get the ear in the loop. And I'm going to take that other strand I have from up here and stick it in. Now I'm going to move it around, see where I like it best. Okay, I like it there. So I'm going to go back to the head, and I go up to where this red pin is. So I come out right there. And then I'm going to go in through the top. And then I'm going to go into the next stitch, so this one. And then I'm going to go through the head. I'm going to take this pin out so I don't poke myself. And when you go through your head, you're going to have to use some force because it's so tight up here. Unless you made it looser than my head, then. Okay, so we have these loose ends, and I just like to pull them out of the way. Now, I'm finished with my top part. Now I'm going to work on the mane. So I'm going to put my hair where I like it. Make sure it's in the middle. Now I'm going to move this tail string, or the sewing string, and move it to just underneath where this lays. So my needle came out right here, and I'm gonna put the hair, one edge of the hair on it. Hopefully this is making sense. And I'm gonna pull through, not take the ear. Reposition it to make sure it's sitting right. And now I'm going to take this pin out, and I'm going to go in this side. And go into the head and work your way down. I'll do one more with you. And I'm going to grab another strand of hair. I'm going to place it right next to the other one. make sure it's lined up right, and then I'm going to go into one side, pull it through, take out this pin, and then you want to go through this right here. And if you did the straight hair, this is going to be exactly the same. Except when the tail end that's down here, you want to sew in. And that's your hair. I'll be back when I finish my whole mane. Okay, I'm back from sewing on all the mane. And this is where I left off. So you can take this out. And now, all these loose ends, you are going to want to sew in. So, if your mane is crooked in a little bit, like, say you don't like how it looks, you can pull these a little bit and sew them in so they're kind of straight. You can see it's straight here. But if I pull a little bit and I sew them in like there, I can make it come out of place. So if your piece is crooked, you could do that. But mine should be fine. But you want to sew in all these strands. And it's pretty simple. It's just time consuming. So how I sew mine is, I'm going to start from the bottom. Where this knot, here we go, where this knot lays is right above here. So I'm going to go into the neck right under where it lays. And I'm just going to thread that onto my needle and pull it through. Now you can hide it until you have no more tail, or you could just hide it once and cut off. I do tend to do both, but for the most part I just hide it once and then cut off. So that's one done, and I'm now going to do the same thing with this strand. So right where this ends, I'm going to go in behind it just so it doesn't pull it out of place. And I'm going to stick that in, and I'm going to pull it through. Then I'm going to cut it off. And then you can squish the neck, and it hides the tail. And now you want to do that all the way up, hiding all these strands. I'll be back when I finish hiding all mine. Okay, so I finished tying in all the loose ends, and this is all the waste. I normally stuff this in when I make pillows, so I just stick that off to the side. And now we're going to work on the tail. So here's the tail, and I'm going to do it layer by layer. So I'm going to take out the top layer. Oh, no, I took it out. Well, I'll be right back. Okay, so I put this back on, and now you want to grab your tapestry needle, and I still have a lot from the tail that I sewed this in with. So I'm going to put this back on my tapestry needle, and I'm going to feed it all the way from here down to here. So you can do that by just going in to the body, then out, or you could just use the one that you cut, but I don't want to waste this. Not take strands with it. Sorry if you hear any background noise. Okay, almost there. Here, and then I'm going to come out right next to those strands. Okay, now I have this first layer. This is my longest layer. Sorry, it's upside down. It doesn't fit all in frame. Well, I guess it kind of does. So now you want to go into the tail just like you went in through the hair. I mean the mane. So you're going to go in, take this out, go into the top of the tail, and then go into the body. Come out in the next stitch. So you could do the next part of the tail. Sorry if this is out of frame. It's a little difficult. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to turn it like this. Hopefully you can see better. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to go, because I went too far over, I'm going to go through this side. This side. I'm going to pull it through. Clear all of these. What happened? I'll be right back once I finish this. Again, sorry if you hear any background noises. So I'm back, and I'm going to just sew it on like you did with the mane. Make sure not. Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm here. Now I'm gonna go into the body and make my way over here. And I'm gonna go into this side of the stitch. And then I'm gonna go to this side and into the body. I'll be back when I finish the tail. You just want to do the same thing over and over again, but I like to tie these in as I go just so they don't get in my way. It's a lot harder to tie them in when you leave it all for later. So I'm going to tie these in, and then I'm going to do the next row, which is I'm just going to attach them just slightly bit higher, just like that, and until I'm all done. And I'll be back when I finish this. Okay, I'm back, and here is my tail finished. It's a bit messy. So lastly, all you want to do is make your eyes. So what you want to do is you want to grab your black. You don't really need a lot. All you just need enough where you could stick it on your hook, where you stick it on your needle and loop it around. So if you have like loose strand, old yarn that you use black for and you still have that laying around, you could use that. So you can put your eye wherever you think looks good. I'm gonna set it across these two stitches. So I'm gonna go into the bottom of the head and come out where I want my eye. So I want my eye right here. So just come out, make sure not to go through the whole way. So if you need to hold this, you can. And so I came out here, and I'm gonna go through the next stitch. And then I'm gonna do that again to thicken the eye. And then I'm just gonna go through the other side of the head. Doesn't matter where just yet, because I can't see that side. But that's where I'm gonna stick my eye. And it came out perfect on the other side. So that's the end of the eye. This is where I came out. So now I'm just gonna go in the back stitch, or back one stitch. And then I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to come out the bottom. And those are your eyes. So now you want to hide this so the eyes don't pop out by accident. And then you can cut off. You can tie it in a little more. I feel pretty safe about that. So you want to do the same with this, or you just cut it off. That stitch isn't going anywhere unless you are pulling on the eyes. Then it will probably come out. I'm sorry about any background noise. I don't live alone. So that's your horse, or unicorn. And that's it. You finished. You can add on any details you want, or change up anything. But that is the unicorn finished. I'll flash on the screen finished photos of the full thing so you can see what it really looks like. But that's it. This is the other side. So I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you could understand it. This is my first tutorial I've ever made, so I hope it comes out okay. Make sure to tag me on Instagram if you make this. I'd love to see what you make with these, and I'll hear color combinations. And that's it. Thank you for watching.